Well, the Senate has had a lot of difficulty in coming to a conclusion to support President Obama's initiative to reform health care because there are many senators that are not prepared to develop the universal quality of health care that is now a popular concept in this country, that everybody is entitled to health care without asking where he works or what gender he or she may be or what part of the country they live in. This is a concept that we've had trouble getting into practice. And under the leadership of President Obama, who held a summit on this right from the beginning, the first presidential White House summit that has ever been held. And he made it clear that this is what he wants out in his first year. And here, 3 days before Christmas, the Senate finally rolls it out, and it's a partisan vote. Every Republican in the Senate voted against it. Every Republican in the House, 167 of them, voted against the bill in the House. So they are the most famous Dr. No's that we could ever come up with. They're against any kind of progress, even though they were invited to participate, even though we asked them for their bills repeatedly. If you don't like what we're doing, what is your bill? And time again, we got, well, we're working on it. We'll just let you know right now we don't like what you're doing, but we don't have an answer to it. So finally, we had the vote that now ended the filibuster, and then we got the vote on the bill at 1 o'clock in the morning. And so this is critical that we now have two bills, the House bill under Pelosi, the Senate bill under Reid. And the question now is, what is the conference committee, which is what is traditionally set up to resolve the differences between any bill that comes out of both bodies? There are almost always something different about them. And so the conference committee, which will start up after the new year, early in the new year, they will be working on what the final bill is when you put this bill of the House, this bill of the Senate. How do you make them come together? And that's the critical question as we continue to have more Americans watching how this issue plays out than any other issue in Congress. What we have now is a bill that has in the House a public option, a government-sponsored health insurance plan, something we hope would be like Medicare, and the Senate, which doesn't have any reference to that at all, and would continue the dozens and dozens of private insurance, and that is a big problem that has to be resolved. In many of our minds, including Dr. Dean, the ex-governor of Vermont, and Ed Schultz on MSNBC, and many other progressives, including many within the House Progressive Caucus, some 84 members. We are not persuaded that this bill can be called reform if it doesn't begin to give people a choice between all the private insurance companies and one government insurance company. And that will be the biggest issue that the conference committee will be faced with. We're in a, people say, well, it's over, and I'm frequently congratulated that we finally got the Senate through and the House was finished earlier a couple weeks ago. But this isn't over. We've had the success of getting out two different bills, but now this is like round two. What is the reconciliation bill going to look like? When you put up to 24 members of the House and the Senate in a room and lock the doors, they've got to take these two bills and come out with one bill. That's going to be tough because we're insisting that we create for the first time a health option, a health insurance option in which the public, it will be public and not private, which simply offers one, competition to the insurance companies, and two, it offers an alternative that without which the monopolistic tendencies of the insurance companies, many states, there's only one choice. In some states, there's two choices. In a few, there may be three. But they've all got territories already carved up through excessive advertising and other techniques. So this is one question that's going to be very, very large indeed.